Last Friday I made my way down to Camberley in Surrey for the second ABUG South event of the year. Having a whole table to myself this time, I might have gone a little bit overboard with the number of machines I brought with me, but after a bit of Tetris I managed to just about get everything on display. Several newly acquired portables came along with me this time, including my Atari portfolio, Scion MC400 and an extra Z88. You can never have too many portables, I say. As well as machines, I brought along a few tapes that I hadn't had a chance to test until now. Sadly, my Steve Davis cassette didn't want to play cue ball, but a copy of Tony Oakden's Quest that was left on the giveaways table ran without any complaints at all. I was also able to get a few games from the cursed Cascade 50 games tape to load, which provided plenty of entertainment, although not from actually playing the games themselves, which were universally terrible. I did get to play some very good games courtesy of Daniel's Atari 800 though. This lovely 1979 machine that wouldn't have looked out of place in the cockpit of the Nostromo was one that I'd never touched before, but I have to say that its rendition of Frogger was first rate, as was Miner 2049er and the rather zany Attack of the Mutant Camels from Jeff Minter. Daniel also brought along his Music 500 setup and a Tatung Einstein on which I had a good game of Chucky Egg. Then there was Epsilon Protocol, the latest game from Chris Bradburn, who kindly demonstrated it in action. This had started life as a raycasting demo which I'd seen at the last ABUG South, but in the intervening months Chris has turned it into a very playable game, complete with baddies, power-ups and fiendish mazes to navigate. Although I'd played it myself in the week leading up to ABUG South, it was a joy to see it being expertly controlled by Chris himself, as well as getting some very interesting behind-the-scenes information on how he managed to squeeze it into the memory of a standard issue Beeb. Do go and give it a try, it's freely available on the complete BBC Games archive site. Another project which had improved substantially since I last saw it was Dan Rolfe's Mini Beeb, now with a fully 3D printed Cub monitor and plinth, as well as a properly scaled Beeb to go with it. The Pi running the Beeb is now actually hidden inside the Cub due to size constraints. Dan is getting a dab hand at these scaled machines, having also done one for the Amiga 500, which he demonstrated running Exile side by side with the Beeb. I still reckon that the Beeb version is the best. Following on from last week's Fixathon, there was some more cheese wedge action with Elliot's own recently acquired Cambridge coprocessor. After a reefer replacement, courtesy of Mark, he hooked it up to my Beeb, and after a moment of trepidation, flipped the switch, and it worked, first time, after having lain dormant for several decades. Just look at that whopping megabyte of memory. Heady stuff for a humble Beeb. As ever, ABUG was a hive of activity, and I only managed to scratch the surface of what everyone was up to. Michael's Matrix Brandy giving us real-time petrol prices via TFAX, Ethernet upgrades, 3D printing, new Electron projects, and some mystery machines, as well as plenty of great chats with friends old and new. Once again, we were packing up before I knew it, and it was the end of another successful ABUG. Many thanks to Kieran for organising, to all of those who attended, and also to Jared for these lovely beers. They're from Elusive Brewing, a local brewery with wonderful retro game artwork on all of their cans. Oh, and you know how I said you can never have too many portables? Well, another thank you from me to Peter for this Organizer 2 XP. You really shouldn't have. No, I mean, really. But until the next time, goodbye.